Hello, this is Marshallee, and welcome to my garden diary. Today is the 20th of June 2021, and what you're looking at right now is the blooms of Sedum Album Coral Carpet, and these blooms are really tiny. So they are actually being magnified quite a bit, but they're tiny but very, very attractive blooms, and they bloom in clusters. So even though they're tiny, you can enjoy them like that. And just by looking at this, you can have an idea why it's called coral carpet. It really has a nice color to it, brownish red, and the blooms, just bloom stems rise from that. So usually the sedum is quite flat, maybe about 3 inches off the ground, but then you have these stems that rise up to about 6 inches, and this looks quite whimsical. It almost looks like a little forest if you're down here, if you look at it like that. So that is that's the floor of the forest there, and then we have some little trees which would be the blooms. But yeah, this is such a wonderful plant. I really like it. It is very, very, very easy to take care of. It likes bright, sunny areas. It doesn't like a lot of water. You can just leave it and forget it, as with most sedums. And this is actually on the walkway of our deck, this part of it. So if I back up, like, you can really see the coral vibes going on. So this is actually basically growing on rocks here. And I have this sedum in different places in the garden. So I have some here, which is actually outside of the garden a little bit, but that's totally okay. And then we go over here, and then there are, all of that is sedum. And here it's not as colorful or red as the sedum that is on the rocks over there, and that is because of the amount of sun that it's getting on the rocks. And here it's a little bit more shaded, and here too this area gets a bit more water, and so it's, yeah, I like it. It's quite nice here. Actually, I like the ones that are on the rocks more. So the less for these plants is more. Less is more for Sedum Album Coral Carpet. If you want the color and that bit of a drama, looking a bit whimsical, like a fairy tale garden, then give it very poor soil, lots of rocks, and then that will do. So it has grown out. So we have here, and I'm just letting it do its thing. It's among the roses. It's acting as a ground cover, and the roses don't seem to mind it. Then we have it also here, and it has taken its time. It's not a very, very fast grower, which is okay, because for me that gives me time to observe it and see, you know, how it's growing, or if it's good for the plants. And then it's also easy to take away things that I don't want. So if I don't want it to be too near to the rose, then I can take it away. But that's totally okay, because if you look, the rose isn't getting super crowded. It's just winded its way around the roses here. So yeah. So it grows, as you can see, quite densely. I think, from my experience so far, it's good as companion plants for rose to as a ground cover. The blooms are small but attractive, especially if it's on a very, very dry surface, like the one that I showed before. It loves full sun. So here, over here, it's in full sun and the color is quite different. The blooms look also a little bit different. It's heat and drought tolerant. So yeah, and I have this all over where I have not a lot of, yeah, so for example, at the side of the house here, or in front of this green um, edged, edge, I'm thinking of German here. Here at the side of the house, it's just stones here, but this is perfect place for it because it will just grow to that area there. And that's the whole idea. Here, I have some bulbs under here. I have some tulips and daffodils. And last year I was concerned that the tulips and daffodils wouldn't come up in the springtime because the sedum seemed so thick, but they did come up. So it wasn't a problem. So that's was quite good. What do we have here? A wasp. Yeah, those can be aggressive, but I'll just leave it. Yeah. So bees like it, the sedums, wasps like it, all the insects in the garden like these. And if uh, I'm not into fairy tale gardens because I don't know, but this would be a perfect plant for a fairy tale garden because, as I said before, these look like or could look like trees, little trees growing in a forest. Okay, so yeah, we have this all over here. They grow at the side of the house here, and here, where there's absolutely nothing nutritious there in the ground. That is just rocks. They're just rocks that we use as a buffer for the driveway here, and they grow nicely here. And I would like this year for it to grow and fill out the whole space here. There's a space here that doesn't have, but there's another bit there. Right, so really enjoy this plant. Like the color, depending on where it is in the garden, it will have a different color. If you want it to be more of on the bronzy, brown, red tone, then give it more sun and less soil, and it will bloom and look attractive like this in summer. And then after it has finished blooming, then the bloom stems need to be cut away, and then wait again for next year where it will do it thing, it will bloom again. And it acts as, for me right now, as an excellent ground cover in the garden. And I'll just let it be and see how it works, which plants it works with, which plant it doesn't work with, where I want it to be, where I don't want it to be. And because it's not such an aggressive grower, and it's easy to, to take it away from where I don't want it, then it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so I'll leave you with that, or star-shaped flowers with those dots on the leaves. Yeah, nice, very nice. Highly recommended. You could also have these in pots, by the way. You can plant them. You could also have them inside, but I mean, if they're inside, then they won't, unless they're at a very sunny window. But just having them outside free to do what they want to do is a good idea. Okay, that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.